I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. I hope your life is challenging in a good way, not in a bad way. Challenging in a way that helps you grow. Um, I want to talk about um, relationships, but I guess things that come with relationships, some challenges that might come with relationships. And one of the topics that I was thinking about recently was how patience pays off in dating. I did do a video about this already, but I want to go a little bit deeper into it. Um, so when you're a young man, one thing that's on your mind is just how to get girls into bed, right? And after you gain some experience in that regard, and you've successfully, got some women in your bedroom, I don't know if this is true for everyone, but for me personally, it started to become an empty endeavor, meaning that yes, I could get them in my room and maybe get them to sleep with me, but I wasn't enjoying the sex anymore. It became more like something just to do, like, you know, something to pass the time. And it kind of bothered me. So that's where patience comes in relationships. When you get older, it's better to take your time with girls. You should get to a point, like I've said in the past, where sex isn't your number one priority with women. Like I also mentioned in the past, you should you are a woman's steward, which means you're responsible for them. You take care of them, you guide them, you protect them. And if you're like me, I believe that all of the great men in history never had just one woman. They had multiple women. And when you have that ability to get more than one woman, and you have the capacity to um, direct them and guide them, then there's no reason why you shouldn't. Um, so yeah, taking your time with them. Try to be a positive influence on their life. Just be there for them. Talk to them. Uh, Give them advice if they need it. But don't try to solve their problems for them. Just kind of be a space where they can, you know, speak their mind. You have to let them kind of, because they usually know what they need to do, but they need to verbalize it and just word vomit until they reach a certain point where they like feel satiated in their need to express themselves. So if you give them or provide them that safe space where you're not going to judge them, you're just going to, be an ear to listen and maybe input little tidbits of direction in when you feel like it's necessary. And then they love you for it. And then you're also building that relationship that makes the sex even better because their desire for you would grow, as well as your desire to keep guiding and protecting them. And that would make the sex way better because now there's a reason why you're doing it. She's doing it because of the way you make her feel, and you're doing it because you've invested your energy into her, and now you feel more of a connection to her. So that in turn makes the sex feel better. I'm bringing this up because there was a moment in time when I was in college, and I experienced ED, erectile dysfunction. Craziest thing in my life. I had this beautiful girl. She was in my English class. I don't know, the gods just sat her next to me, and it was like, damn, man. She was one of those girls that would wear like the athleisure outfits, the tight ones, and then she'd tie her hair up with some glasses. Her name was Lexi, I believe. I used to call her Sexy Lexi. She's gorgeous, beautiful girl. And so yeah, like I used my amateur game because back then I thought I was fucking Casanova. I thought I knew all the tricks and whatnot. But in reality, you have to update your methods of getting women every about 5 years. Because things change, right? Like when you were a kid, when you were in grade school, you have to be the fastest kid in class. That's how you got girls. You have to be the fastest kid in class, or be good at a sport, be taller than the other kids. That's all it took. And then you move up to high school, then it's like, okay, who's the most popular kid in class? Who has the most connections? Who knows the most people? And then college is pretty similar. It's pretty similar, but you have to add an element of, how do I say, tact. Like in high school, you could get away with being eager to like speak to girls and like text them all day. Like you could get away with that. That was the norm. People were always texting each other. But then once you get into college, it's more like girls have seen it all. They have more experience than men because they've had more encounters than men, and so they kind of adapt faster than us in the dating game. So they're learning how to weed out bad relationships faster than we are because we don't get the same amount of girls that we talk to. And for the most part, whatever you've been doing has been working, so you just don't know any better until it just stops working and you feel like, what's going on? So in college, you have to start implementing things like, and I didn't know this when I was in college, but I got what I call residual pussy, which is getting pussy based off your external factors, And I thought I was doing something. I thought I was actually like that guy, but it was just because I was, blessed genetically. And so yeah, I was like, yeah, I get girls, but like, nah. Yeah. Yeah, but no, I was just getting lucky. But then in the real world, you might still get some residual pussy, but then it won't be the same quality girls. Like in college, I was getting residual pussy of like the best girls because it's college, right? But then in the real world, only residual pussy you'll get is from like 5s and 6s, because now the game is stepped up higher. You can't just be the most attractive person with the most connections. Now you have to be rich and stable, because now women are always looking for survival, right? So now they're looking at long-term things like, okay, can he potentially provide for my kid and I, and the whole 9 yards. So every 5 years you have to update your software of how to get girls. So yeah, where was I with this? So yeah, this girl, Sexy Lexi. Yeah, I ended up, spinning a 1-2, getting her into my room, but there was no real connection. See, I've had a very, I don't want to say very difficult, but I've had a very challenging upbringing, challenging life. It's not like I was raised in the coal mines and had to, till the earth for my food, or survive a war-torn country. I didn't have to do that, but I would say I've had a challenging life psychologically, and that sounds like I'm calling myself crazy, but no. Maybe just the mental challenges, moving around a lot. I'm the type of person who's very sentimental. When I make friends, it's because I really care about the person. Like I really want them in my life. I have high standards for friendship, and so having to like be uprooted so many times, it was very, very painful for me. And having to start over again, and it was a very difficult thing to do. And just always, like I said, there's a payoff, right? It gave me a chance to reinvent myself every time, because new environment, new opportunities, no one knows who you are. You can leave, you can burn or let all the dead wood burn off of your former character and rise like the phoenix out of the ashes as a brand new person. So it was like, it was, how do I say this? It was forging me into a better all-around human and better person. but that only works like I said. That only works if you're paying attention and you're constantly striving to become better. If you're not, you just be the same person every time. So you have to actually be consciously be like, yes, like what works, what doesn't work, what feels good spiritually and energetically, and what doesn't work, and what doesn't. And yeah, so yeah, I had a tough upbringing, and then she was like I don't want to say, okay, yes, privileged young lady, had all the freshest new purses. Um, she like was in love with like fashion and new clothing and all that, so we couldn't bond in the sense that she could understand hardship because she's never been through it. That doesn't make her a bad person. In all honesty, I'm envious of people who can afford to not have have had to grow. Envious in the fact that it's very they're fortunate, but I wouldn't say that I would trade my life with them, because I think the things that I gained from my hardships have been, for the good, for the betterment of myself. So yeah, there was no connection, but I still ended up getting her to my room, and this is the first time it ever happened to me. I couldn't get it up, and I was like, "What's going on? This girl is beautiful in my bed, just chilling." But then that's when it started, like the shift started happening between being able to just like sleep with girls because they're hot, and being able to and having to actually like be connected to them in this certain way. And mind you, well, let me finish the story. So yeah, it didn't work. So I'm freaking out, and so like she thinks it's her, and then that also is like bothering my mental, because now I feel like I'm making her feel bad. So now I'm double like in my head, and so all it takes is one time, and then it becomes like a thing. Like it becomes like a demon in your head, because you're like, oh, it's gonna happen again. It's gonna happen again, and then you start like psyching yourself out, when in reality nothing is wrong with you. It's all a psychological thing. And so I so she left, and I'm thinking like, oh, I need to try again. So I call over again like a couple days later. I'm like, I need to like get this shit like working. And it happened again, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, what's going on with me? So she leaves, and I feel terrible, because I'm like, fuck, she probably thinks it's her. I'm like, bro, it's not you. Like, I don't know what it is, right? And so I was contemplating using those gas station pills, the what do they call it, Viagra or whatever. But something in my mind told me like, no, like you're fine, like you're a young man, you shouldn't need to rely on this thing, like you need to deal with this yourself. And so I didn't go about doing it. I was this close to it. So I was like, bro, like I can't let this happen again, but then if I did that, I would become reliant on that, so I was like, nah, I gotta deal with it myself. And so how did I deal with it? I actually ended up not talking to her, and I got into a relationship with a different girl, because it was kind of like I was juggling two options, but I had more of a connection with this other girl, which became my girlfriend of like 2 years, and she actually helped me fix the situation. So we end up dating, and we sleep together the first night, and because there's a connection and I feel safe, a lot of the times ED happens because men don't feel safe in the sexual encounter. They feel like they have to perform, and like they have all this pressure on themselves, so it psychs themselves out. And you can't get hard as a man when you're not like fully present and fully in like your masculine power. Like you have to be like, all right, like I'm good, things are good, like things have to just be flowing. But if you're second guessing yourself, there's no way your dick's gonna work. It's just not gonna work. So because I felt safe with this girl, I was able to get it up, and I told her that she fixed me. So you fixed me. I was going through some shit. Like I was going through a tough time, and I was like, finally I feel like normal again. And that's when it clicked. I was like, oh no, like I can't just, well, I know there is a method actually to like jumpstart your dick in crucial situations. There is a method, and I'll tell you. So what I do, what works for me, you have to get angry at the girl, but not visibly angry, but like in your mind angry, and just think about all the bullshit that they put you through just to get them into bed. Once you do that, and then start thinking of them, like look at them like a fucking how do I say this? How do I say this? Like look at them like you're I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, it's kind of like dirty talk yourself in your mind, but like about her, like look at this little, insert slur here. Look at her teasing me with her outfit, and look at her doing all these things just to get me off. Like look at her. So like to get yourself back grounded, so you're not in your head so much. And then once you focus on her and not yourself as much, you just start thinking like, look at this, like try to get like a little bit amped up. That works for me when I don't have the connection that I want with the girl. But like I said, I'm not really pursuing those things anymore. I don't really like force it. I'm trying to be more of a benefit to women than just a piece of meat, like a dick, So I'm trying to actually like guide them and make my presence in their life more than just sex. So I haven't gone back to that in a very long time. It's been some time since I've used that. But if you're still in the game, in that business, there's one thing that you can do, right? So just look at them and just think about all the crap they put you through and take it out on them. And then on top of that, women will, another thing that you have to look out for when you're not with a girl that you're safe with, they're gonna say some things that are like kind of take the energy out of you during sex. Like she might be like, oh, like you're not hard, try to like put the blame on you, when in fact she's actually like insecure, thinking that it's her fault. So she try to flip it back on you. So just tell her to shut up. Reposition yourself as the masculine figure, as a dominant figure in the bedroom. Don't let their words sway you. Tell her to shut up and turn around. Tell her to shut up, turn around. Not like, shut up, like shut up. Like, the fuck? I'm running shit right now. Do that, and you feel all the energy come back into your gut, and the blood will start flowing again. So yeah, look out for those little mental games they play. So then they're gonna make you feel bad, like, oh, you can get it up. Like, nah, like, no, shut up. Shut the fuck up. I'm only not hard because you don't make me feel safe. It's your fault, not mine. So shut the fuck up and take this dick. And then you feel better. So yeah, so I ended up with a girlfriend of 2 years. And that's when it dawned on me that you actually do need some connection as you get older, to sleep with women efficiently. And yeah, good video. I got some food on the stove right now. I would share with y'all, but I know where y'all live. But peace and blessings. Y'all have a good one. It's a beautiful day outside. Try to touch some grass, get some fresh air. Peace.